online students, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we will start session in another 5 minutes by 12:15. Let everyone join the session. Okay, both of you are from newly joined or you are from any previous batch? Okay, can you hear me? Bhargav and Veera? Okay, so you're newly joining. Today is your first session, or you are have any other batch students? Okay, Bhargav, you're
No.
from Python 15. Yes, yes, Veera, you're from which batch, or you're joined today for the first time?
Uh, Last year, this time I will join in Node Melon stack, but suddenly he can stop the full stack. After that, now I can join again.
You have joined again. Okay, fine.
Yeah, trainee is not available at that time.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Yes, Sarita, this session is.
Yes,
Uh,
yes,
Hello.
yes, Cheppandi.
Resound వస్తుంది మేడం ఇది.
Okay, can you try? Can you message once?
ఓకే. అంటే ఏం లేదు, నా వాయిస్ నాకే కనబడుతుందండి.
Okay, okay.
అది ఈ సెషన్ ఇంగ్లీష్లో ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తారా తెలుగా?
So it is completely English session. If anyone is not understanding, I will in between explain in Telugu if required.
ఓకే. కుడ్ యూ స్టార్ట్ స్లోలీ?
Okay, sure.
థ్యాంక్స్.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Okay, we will wait for 2 more minutes. Let everyone join and we'll start the session. So meanwhile, if those are joining newly for the first time, there are few Python batch students also, but who is joining for the first time? If you have any questions, you can just let me know. Okay, from today, our SQL database classes will start, and every day it will be from 12:15 to 1:15. I will start session every day 10 minutes before. By 12:05, I will start the session, and every day you can join 5 minutes before at least. And if you have any doubts, you can ask. Or after the session, also at the end of the session, also I'll give you the time so that you can share your queries and doubts after the session also. Okay. Your 51 batch, Python. Okay, so hello everyone. Myself Likita. I'm a Java full stack trainer here. Few people already know. For new students, I'm just sharing. So today I'm going to start SQL demo. So we will be discussing. It will continue for almost 1 month. Classes will be happening for the SQL and PLSQL. So now I should just share the screen. I hope everyone can see the screen also. Okay, so we are going to see SQL demo one session. Okay, so here in this complete module of this database, you will be learning SQL and PLSQL. These two modules you will be learning. Okay, both are like it is extension. SQL you will learn first. After that, you will be learning PLSQL. It is like extension to the SQL little. Okay, mostly in your languages or in any companies you will be using mostly SQL only, and little programming is added with PLSQL. So if it is required, you can also implement these concepts. So I will teach both SQL and PLSQL. So first of all, before going to SQL and PLSQL, we will learn about the database today. Okay, so introduction and what is database and what is the use of it, why we have to learn database. These all things we will learn in the demo one session. Okay, and we are going to learn this database with Oracle. Okay, so the databases are so many. Here I am teaching with Oracle. If you want, you can use MySQL or any other databases also. Okay, so what is the prerequisite to learn this database? Nothing. You can just learn without any prior knowledge, but this database will help you in your programming languages. Maybe it is Java or Python or any real time application you are developing, it will help in that. Or alone, if you are learning SQL PLSQL, it will help in a Oracle developer or PLSQL SQL developer. Like that also there is a chance of getting jobs. So individually you will learn it and you will use this in that languages to implement a real time application. Okay, so this is about just information about why and what is that you are learning in this module. Okay, so first of all, as I said, first I will teach what is database. So the prerequisite is nothing, you can directly learn. So first of all, the question will come, what is database? Okay, database ante enti? What is database? So see, suppose you wanted to store some information in a class. Now five students are there. You wanted to store five students information. You will store in book or in a computer file, like his name, his address, his mobile number. Like this, his all information you can store in a file or a book. It is okay. After 20 days or 2 months or 1 year, if anyone comes and asks about those five people, you can easily tell when he attended class, did he attend regularly or not. You can tell, because those are five people only or 10 people. But if you consider one software company or an institute, there are thousands and lakhs of employees. Is it possible to store their information manually? Is it possible? No, right? Storing lakhs and lakhs of people information is difficult. First of all, somehow if you are storing in a book or something, if after a year or any months, if the employee resigns or changes his designation, it is difficult to fetch his information. You have to search all the books. It is difficult. So how to solve this problem? The problem is rectified with database. So what is database? It is used to store huge amount of information. What it will store? It will store huge amount of information. Understood? So the database will solve the issue. Like when you have more amount of data to be stored, you will be using what? Database. Okay, it will store any amount of information, whatever information about a person or anything, it will be storing. So how it will store? See, everyone know about Facebook. Do you know? Everyone are having Gmail, Facebook, everything, no? So when you are opening Facebook, what it will ask? Your ID, and you will ask its your password, yes or no? First time when you're opening for Facebook, it will ask you to register. You will give all your information, your name, address, your age, mail ID, everything you will give. And next time you will log in with your ID and password. Is it opening your page? Yes, right? How it is opening? That means whatever you are entering during registration, it is saved somewhere. That's why when you give now your ID password, your page is only opened. Yes or no? That means it is saved somewhere. Where it is saved? In the database. All your information is saved in what? Database. Every company will have its own database so that they save their information. Okay, so now with which database we can save? There are in market so many databases. For example, Oracle is one database, MySQL is one database, and PostgreSQL, like this you are having, like this so many are there. So you can use any database that is available. So now I am teaching here with the Oracle database. Okay, SQL and PLSQL I will teach with what database? Oracle database. So ma'am, in company or in somewhere, if I have MySQL, if I have Postgre, how it is, how can I learn that? No problem. The queries of SQL and PLSQL will be same, common. That is a common language for any database. Even though here you are learning with Oracle, tomorrow you have to work with MySQL in a company, same queries will execute. Only little in few queries syntax difference will be there. That also I will tell. In MySQL, this is the query. In Oracle, this is query. If there is a change. Otherwise, no problem. Whatever database you use, the same code will work for you. So, no issue. So, they have developed the language SQL and PLSQL common for all the databases. Clear everyone? So what is a database? It is used to store huge amount of information. Whenever you want to store very big amount of information, it is better to choose what? Database. How it will be available in real time? So you are learning it. So you have to know how it is available in the real time situation. So here, like Facebook or Amazon or Flipkart, any web applications you are using, there we store our information. Amazon, you will create your ID password, next time you will log in, it is opening your account only. How? It is storing your information somewhere. That's why you are able to open your own database. Like that, it will help us, the database. Okay, so every day I will be sharing the text and also the document related to it. Okay, so about database, now whatever I am explaining, it is there here. So I will share this document also for you. Okay. Next, in database, okay, we are storing. Is it just used for storing information or any other purpose? We have so many things that we can do. First use of database is that you can store huge amount of information. You can store what? Huge amount of information. Second point is that you can send data and create data, retrieve data. Anything you can do. Create, you can delete, and you can retrieve and store. You can do many things. Create data means what? First time when you are logging in, they will store the data. You are joining in a new company. What they will do? They will take your all information, your personal information, they will store your data. That is storing, creating data. Next time they will, suppose they wanted to know your information. Sometimes after few days or something, they wanted to know a person information. What is his designation, how much salary we are giving them, what is the work he is doing. Then you can retrieve the data by using the SQL queries. That is the second thing. Next, when you are joining, you did not give me the mobile number. You did not give the mobile number. You told I will take a new mobile number and give you after a week or something. Okay, I saved your information. Next day, you gave me the mobile number. I have to save your number, right? I need not save new data. Already existing data, I have to update it. So, using this database and SQL queries, you can update the existing data also. One thing is you can create, insert, and you can retrieve and you can update. And sometimes after 5 years or 6 years or 10 years, you may leave one company and join a other company. That time what I have to remove your information from the table. Otherwise you will get still salaries, everything. No, once I have to delete from the table, so you can also delete the information. So in the database, not only storing information, you can retrieve, you can delete, update, all these transactions you can do in the database. Understood everyone? Am I clear? Everyone, are you able to follow all? Can you all hear me? Okay. So, like this, we can store the data, retrieve data, and use the data, whatever we have here. Okay. So, we can, all this information we can do, and you can use any data. Okay. So, now this is about whatever we are talking about the database. Now,
హలో
in how many?
లిఖిత.
Yes.
ఆ, ఇప్పుడు మై ఎస్క్యూఎల్, నో ఎస్క్యూఎల్ ఇవన్నీ ఒక దాంట్లోకి వస్తాయి.
సి ఒక్కొక్క అన్ని డిఫరెంట్ డేటాబేసెస్ అండి. మీరు ఏ డేటాబేస్ అయినా చూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. MySQL అయినా
ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్.
అవి డిఫరెంట్ కోర్స్ అండి. ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్, డెవాప్స్ అవన్నీ డిఫరెంట్ కోర్సెస్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు నేర్చుకునే డేటాబేస్ ఏ లాంగ్వేజ్‌లో అవసరమైనా మనం అందులో ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అంటే మనం
ఓకే.
ఒక అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్ చేస్తున్నాం అనుకోండి. ఒక రియల్ టైమ్ అప్లికేషన్ డెవలప్ చేస్తున్నాం. ఫేస్‌బుక్కో, బ్యాంక్ అప్లికేషనో ఉంటుంది. డెవలప్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? నేను చెప్పినట్టు ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ నేను ఒక ఫేస్‌బుక్ అప్లికేషన్ ఓపెన్ చేశాననుకోండి. లేదా అమెజాన్. ఓకే. ఐఎమ్ ఓపెనింగ్ వన్ గూగుల్ పేజ్. సీ హియర్. ఇన్ దిస్ ఐఎమ్ ఓపెనింగ్ అమెజాన్. అమెజాన్ ఓపెన్ చేసినప్పుడు నేను షాప్ ఆన్‌లైన్ అంటాను. ఆన్‌లైన్ అన్నప్పుడు హలో సైన్ ఇన్ అంటుంది. సో, నేను ఇక్కడ నా సైన్ ఇన్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కొత్త కొత్త పర్సన్ అయితే నేను రిజిస్టర్ అవుతాను. లేదంటే ఉన్న క్రెడెన్షియల్స్ ఇచ్చి కంటిన్యూ అంటాను. అప్పుడు నాది ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది గదా! సో, ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది అంటే ఈ అప్లికేషన్‌లో ఆ అప్లికేషన్ పైథాన్‌తో చేసుండొచ్చు, డెవాప్స్‌తో చేసుండొచ్చు, లేదా జావాతో చేసుండొచ్చు. ఏ లాంగ్వేజ్ అయినా యూజ్ చేయండి. కానీ ఆ స్టోర్ చేయడానికి మనం రాసే డేటాబేస్ క్వెరీస్ మాత్రం సేమ్ ఉంటాయి. మీరు ఏ లాంగ్వేజ్‌లో అయినా కానీ డేటాబేస్‌కి వచ్చేసరికి ఈ క్వెరీసే యూజ్ చేస్తారు. సో, మీరు ఫర్దర్‌గా ఏ లాంగ్వేజ్ అయినా నేర్చుకొని ఉండొచ్చు, లేదా నేర్చుకోవచ్చు. కామన్‌గా ఈ క్వెరీస్‌ని ఆ ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ మధ్యలో రాస్తారంతే. అది ఎట్లా రాయాలనేది ఆ లాంగ్వేజ్ చెప్పే ట్రైనర్ మీకు చెప్తారు. ఇప్పుడు మాత్రం మనం ఏ లాంగ్వేజ్‌లో అయినా ఎట్లా వర్క్ అవ్వాలి అనేది డైరెక్ట్‌గా డేటాబేస్‌లో నేర్చుకుంటాం. మన ఒరాకిల్ అవ్వచ్చు, మైఎస్‌క్యూఎల్ అవ్వచ్చు. సో, మీరది ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ నుంచి ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తారు. సో, ఓన్లీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ నుంచే కాకుండా ఎవరైనా ఇదొక్కటే నేర్చుకున్న వాళ్ళు ఒరాకిల్ ఏదైనా డేటాబేస్‌లో వర్క్ ఉంటది గదా! ఇప్పుడు ఇదంతా స్టోర్ చేయాలి, రిట్రీవ్ చేయాలంటే దానికోసం ప సెపరేట్‌గా ఎంప్లాయీస్ వర్క్ చేయాలి గదా! చాలా మంది వర్క్ చేస్తారు ఒక కంపెనీలో. డేటాబేస్ మీద మాత్రమే. కోడింగ్ లేకపోయినా ఇదొక్కటి నేర్చుకొని గూడా వర్క్ చేయొచ్చు. కోడింగ్‌లో కూడా యూజ్ చేస్తారనమాట. ఓకే అండి. ఈజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్?
ఎస్ లిఖిత.
Okay. Okay. Yes. So, like this, we will store and retrieve the information in different ways. So, now when we are storing the data, initially we have two modules, that is DBMS, and the other one is RDBMS. Okay. DBMS stands for Database Management System. DBMS stands for what? Database Management System. And RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. These are the two things we have. Both are used for storing the information only. But there is a small difference between DBMS and RDBMS. DBMS will store the data in terms of files. It will store what? Data in what? Files. But RDBMS will store the data in terms of what? Tables. So now you are going to learn RDBMS. So the example of RDBMS are like Oracle, MySQL. These are all examples of what? RDBMS. This is like a software. RDBMS or DBMS are like what? Softwares. So we are going to learn with Oracle, MySQL, like all these things which are related to what? RDBMS. And what are examples of DBMS? You will store data in any kind of Excel file or XML file, like that. So many files will be there, not the table format. Those are called what? DBMS files. Okay, database management system. So where you can store the data. Okay, where you can store the data only in terms of what? Files. Either you store in file or a table. You can do all the operations: insertion, deletion, updation, retrieval, everything you can do in both the places. But since it is not stored in a table or anything, the retrieval and storing will be little complicated than what? RDBMS. And also you will learn further one concept called normalization in DBMS. That normalization is not implemented in what? Database. I will tell you what is normalization, what you are going to do, that we will see. Okay, so there are some advantages of DBMS and also disadvantages also we have. Okay, so what are the characteristics we have for the DBMS? There will be automatic backup and recovery. What is there? Automatic backup and recovery. So every time you need not save, you can save you want, but suddenly if system crashes or if there is any network issue also, it will automatically gets what? Backup. So recovery option will be there. And there will be also providing what? Security to the data, because you will be having passwords. Using the password you can secure your data very much, so that it is not very easy for to hack. Okay, so what are the main advantages of this database management system? What are the advantages? You can control the redundancy. That means what? All the data is stored in a single location, so that there is no confusion to go to other database or anything. Everything is stored in what? Single location. So there is no data redundancy. We can at least control it, because since all the data is stored in what? Single location. That is one point. And next, there is something called data sharing. See what? In a company there will be having multiple users. Database will have password, username and password. So as a admin I will have some user and password, and you are there, 10 employees are using. For one person I will give one credential, one user and one password, so that I can easily share the information for what? Multiple people. Okay, so easily you can share the information, you can maintain the information easily. And because of all these things you can reduce the time also. If multiple people are working, you can easily reduce what? Time. And easily backup is there. So these are the important advantages of the DBMS. Okay, and there are some disadvantages also. What is that? Since it is storing in files, okay, this DBMS software will occupy large amount of memory it requires. Okay, because of this it is very costly. Okay, the it is very costly since it is occupying large amount of your space. Okay, and also little complex. And there is a chance of corruption and damage due to the data due to some electrical failures or any network related and all. Okay, it is secured to some level but not to the level of the relational database management system. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of DBMS. Okay, so the main advantages of the RDBMS is like it will store the data in tables, and also there is a concept of what? Normalization. What we have? Normalization. Okay, so that is about DBMS. Did you understand everyone what is database management system? DBMS, database management system. Database is used to store data. DBMS is like a software which is doing all these manipulations. But DBMS means it stores the data only in terms of files, and it is not best suitable when you have like complex data or huge amount of data, when you have to transfer, and also it is little complex when compared to the RDBMS, and there is no concept of normalization in the DBMS. Is it clear, everyone? Is it clear, all of you? So, since it is beginning, we will discuss 1 2 days about the concept. And once we start SQL, maybe in demo 3 session, or I will start SQL. So, from there, you will be having all queries. Theory will be very less. All practicals will be there, how to store and all. And in the tomorrow session also, I will tell how to install Oracle database. You have to know, right? I will tell the installation process and working process of Oracle in tomorrow's session. Okay. So anyone is having any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, as I said, RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, it is represented and storing the data in terms of what? Tables. Everything. Table means what? Which contains rows and columns. So everything will be stored in the table format. Okay, it is introduced by a person called EF Cod. He introduced this database RDBMS system and all. Here you will be having tables, records, fields, columns, rows, schemas, keys, like this. Everything you will come across. Okay. So if they ask you what is the difference, now when you learn, see, if you go to the interview for SQL and PLSQL, first question they will ask you what is database, or they will definitely ask you what is the difference between DBMS and RDBMS. Don't assume they will ask directly SQL. They will ask few questions on basics also. See, this DBMS and RDBMS is completely one full different subject only. In curriculum or in any engineering or degree, they will have one semester subject only. That is a vast syllabus. But since you are learning SQL, we will also teach little basics because it should help you in interview. Okay. So now, what is difference between DBMS and RDBMS? The question. It is storing data as file. It is storing data as what? Table. And in DBMS, data is stored in hierarchical form, but here you are storing the data in a primary key values. Very important point, this one. In a hierarchical means like a tree structure, it will be storing. Okay. But here, since it is storing in table, we will store the data with primary key, it is said. What do you mean by primary key? So now, this primary key is providing us one important facility in storing data. How? I'm storing all your information. Now, so many people are there here, like so many Bhargav, Vikas, like this, so many people are there. Two or more people can have same name. Yes or no? My name is Likita. There is maybe one more person with the name Likita. Yes or no? So, how to make this person identification uniquely? How I should maintain it? Now, if I call Vikas, two people are having Vikas, means it is a confusion. Whom I have called? How I can differentiate? Tell me. By giving unique ID, no? So name can be repeated, but ID cannot be repeated. Yes or no? ID should be what? Always unique. So for maintaining that unique, we need what? Primary key. What is that? Primary key. So in RDBMS, we have something called primary key, which will allow us to store the data uniquely without storing what? Duplicate values, which is not present in what? DBMS. is one main advantage. And one more thing with the primary key is not null. What is that? Not null. Name can be duplicate, but can any person be or join in a company or be without name? Is it possible? No. Okay, mobile number you can tell later, address you can tell later, but name you should compulsory have, right? So that is also achieved with what? Primary key. So in RDBMS, you can store the data if you want uniquely and not null. Means it should not be empty and it should not be duplicate. Such facility is there in what? RDBMS, which is not exactly possible with what? DBMS. So this primary key is a separate concept in RDBMS, like constraints. There we will discuss with examples how we are storing unique values, how we are storing not null, empty values, not empty values. We will see. And the next, normalization, as I said, normalization is not present in DBMS, but it is present in what? RDBMS. So what is this? Basically normalization means, tomorrow we'll discuss in depth, but I will just give you clarity what is normalization. This removing the duplicate values, and see, a person information may be stored in very big table, but when you are seeing very big tables, sometimes duplicate values will be there, confusion will be there, repeated of data will be there. So to avoid that redundancy, what you will do, we will split the table into multiple tables to avoid duplicate or not null values, or to maintain table perfectly. What we will do, huge table is divided into multiple sub tables. So that is what is called normalization. Normalization is nothing but removing the confusion, removing the redundancy. How it will remove? By making the table into sub tables, small tables, to avoid the confusion. So that is not present in DBMS. It is present in what? RDBMS. See, these all differences are very important. If they ask you the differences, you can tell. One is normalization, one is files, and there is no primary key concept in DBMS. Like this, you can share the information. Okay. And DBMS will not have much security, but here we have security with acid properties. I will discuss about this. What are acid properties? I will discuss now. Okay. And also, as okay, since they are stored in files, there is no relationship between two or more tables, but two or more files definitely. But here, since we are storing in tables, we will have the relationship between two tables. Two tables, how you have relation? In one table I will store your number, ID number, name, your mobile number, address. That is one table. In second table I will store your what is your designation, and what is how much your salary you are getting, like that. I will share your office information. So I wanted to match both, and I want a final report of yours. I want your personal information and professional information. How I can get both? There should be one thing common in both the tables. What is that? ID will be common. So using the ID, I will link both the tables and fetch complete information. This is possible with RDBMS, but that is not possible with what? DBMS. Understood? In DBMS, since we are storing data in files, there is no relationship between two or more tables or files. Since here we are storing in tables, there is a chance of establishing relationship between two tables. Clear? So these are the some of very important properties. As I said, this will store single user, and in DBMS you cannot have multiple users, and in RDBMS you can have multiple users using it. And examples of this are XML, all these things will come. And RDBMS are what? MySQL, PostgreSQL server, and then what? Oracle, like this. These all. So we are using Oracle. If you are using MySQL, no problem, use. Practice these queries there itself. Don't delete it or uninstall it. Okay? You can use anything. So these are the main differences that we have with the DBMS and RDBMS. Clear everyone? Online students, I said acid properties are there. Now I will discuss in few minutes what are acid properties also. Okay, so is it clear everyone, all of you? Mahesh, Suresh Kumar, Ganesh, okay, Bhargav, Vikas, Bobby, Veera, everyone clear, right? So what is a database? It is used to store huge amount of data. Not only storing, you can perform so many transactions like insertion, deletion, updation, selection. You can do many transactions with the data. Okay. And in this process, to do all these things, we need a software like DBMS or RDBMS. DBMS means it will do everything with the files. RDBMS means what? Tables. So we are going to learn with RDBMS, with Oracle. Okay. And we also have seen many differences with the DBMS and RDBMS. Clear? Okay. Any questions you want, you can ask. Okay. Now, as I said, this is going to follow acid properties. What is it is going to follow? Acid properties. So what are these acid properties? A stands for atomicity. What is this? A stands for atomicity or atomic properties. First one. And then second one, it stands for consistency. And I stands for isolation, and D stands for durability. D stands for what? Durability. Okay, these are the four important properties. We acid properties are there: atomicity, consistency, isolation, and then what? Durability. So these are the four properties RDBMS is going to follow. So first let us see what is atomicity. So now if you want to follow, or if you want data has to be atomic, means whatever transaction you are following. See, first I will tell one real time example. So many of us are using now online transaction only. Manually using money with cash has been almost come to minimal. Everyone are using the UPI transactions only, right? You go to buy a small flower or any grocery shop also, you are using Google Pay or some phone pay or something you are using. So what you will do, you will purchase one item and you will use the Google Pay and you pay the money. Then what will happen? Sometimes the money deducts in your mobile and they will not receive. Does it happen to anyone? Not only in grocery shops, in bank ATM also, you put the card. It will say money deducted, but sometimes we don't get. But you will get a message like it will be refunded in 2 days or 3 days, like that. Yes or no? That means what? Your data is not following the atomicity property. So what do you mean by atomicity property? Means if you are starting a transaction, start it only if you can complete it. Otherwise, don't start it. Okay. So if you are starting, you have to definitely complete it. Now, what our total transaction is involving? You are transferring from your account and he has to receive his account. There are two tasks to be done, but only one task is completed. Second task is in pending state, he did not receive. That means the transaction has been unsuccessful. So now your transaction or your application is not following atomicity property. Okay, what do you mean by atomicity? If you are starting any operation or a transaction, either it should be performed and executed completely or should not be started at all. So when it will stop in between, there is a network issue. Mobile data or Wi-Fi data, if it is not proper, then it won't complete it. So if the mobile data is less, it should not start transaction only. Otherwise, if you start, it has to be completed. Okay, then you can tell the operation is atomic. The operation should be executed completely, not partially. Understood the meaning of atomicity or atomic? There should be no partial execution. The execution termination should not be there. Either you start it and complete it, or don't start it. That's it. Okay, see here a example. I think you can see 30 rupees there is there in your account. When you debit, it is transferring and your available balance has become what? 20. But here you are, before it is 100, you are crediting it, but still it is 100. Because of what? Credit is failed. So this is not atomic. This process is not atomicity. So this is not successful transaction. If it is doing like this, see the second picture, 30 debited 10, so it has become 20. 100 credited 10 and it has become what? 110. So then it is what? Your transaction has been completely done, executed. So it is following what property? In acid properties, A, atomicity property is satisfied. Execution is what? Success. Execution is what? Success. Is it clear? Online students, is it clear? Such property is not there in DBMS. Okay, clear everyone? In atomicity, what does in acid properties? A stands for atomic property. Atomicity means what here? If you are doing any transaction and the transaction involves 5 steps or 6 steps maybe, if you are sure that you can complete all 5 steps, then only start it. Otherwise, don't start it. Clear? Is it clear everyone? About atomicity, is it clear everyone? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so that is about the A, atomicity property in acid. Next is consistency. What is that? Consistency means whenever it is the data, the integrity of the data should be maintained. That means if a change is made in the database, it should be always preserved. It should be maintained consistent before and after transaction also. Well, whatever the changes you are making throughout your database, how many ever changes you are making, it should be consistently maintained. Okay, it is deducting and saving in their account, but it should not feel that okay, we can update later. It should not be like that. Data should be consistently maintained throughout the transaction. See this example. Now from my account, let us say my account is A. I'm transferring to account B and I'm transferring to account C. Okay, I have like 300 rupees. I'm debiting to B as 50 and C to what? 20. Okay, totally I am debiting 50 plus 20, 70. So it should not be like, okay, anyway, I'm debiting 50 and then 20. Afterwards, I can update my account. It should not be like that. Immediately you transfer to B50, it has to be updated 300 to 250. Then only it should start the next transaction. Okay, 300 బ్యాలెన్స్ లో ఇంచే 15 20 పంపించేసి అప్పుడు ఒకసారి అప్డేట్ చేయకూడదు. ఎందుకంటే ఒకవేళ మన మన అకౌంట్లో నుంచి ఒకేసారి 300లో నుంచి 200 డిడక్ట్ అయిపోయినాయి అనుకోండి, రెండింటికి 300 ఒరిజినల్ బ్యాలెన్స్ కింద చూపిస్తుంది. అలాంటప్పుడు మనకి అకౌంట్లో బ్యాలెన్స్ ఏమవుద్ది? నెగిటివ్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. సో డేటా షుడ్ బి మెయింటైన్డ్ వాట్? Consistently for all the transactions. At a time you are doing multiple transactions, you are having 300 balance. Okay, at a time when a person is on an account, two transactions are happening. Let us say you have ATM card, you are going and withdrawing 200 rupees from your account. Okay, and someone from your home is using your card. where they can swipe or they can purchase online through any UPI code or something. They are also purchasing for 200, but you are in account, you have only what, 300. At a time when you are doing, it should not allow. First your transaction has to be completed either from ATM or from online, then give you the updated balance. Okay, only 100 is there, it should tell insufficient balance. It should not allow you to complete the transaction. If data is not consistently maintained, what you are doing both the transactions at same time, for you also it will show 300, for other person also it will show 300 who is using from home. So both it will deduct 400 and your balance will go to negative, which is not correct. So when you are doing multiple transactions at same time, the data has to be maintained consistent. See here, 300, you are debiting to be how much, 50. So it has to be like before the transaction and after. When you are transferring to see how much balance, it should be 250, and from that to 250 it has to deduct 20, not from 300. Understood? At a time you are doing also. For B, the balance of A is 300, that's correct. At a time when you are doing for C also, it should not do 300. Once you has to deduct 50, update the balance to 250, that has to be shown to C. From that 250, it should deduct 20. That is what do you mean by what? Consistency. Clear everyone? అందరికి అర్థమైందా అండి? కన్సిస్టెన్సీ అంటే ఏంటి? మల్టిపుల్ ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ చేస్తున్నా కానీ డేటా ఎట్ ఎనీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ టైం ఇట్ షుడ్ బి మెయింటైన్ కన్సిస్టెంట్లీ. క్లియర్? ఈజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్ ఎవ్రీవన్? Atomicity means if you start transaction, it has to be completed. Consistency means throughout all the changes you are making, it has to be maintained consistently, properly, correctly. Okay? Is it clear, my everyone, about consistency? Veera, Bhargav, Vikas, Mahesh, Ganesh, and Suresh Kumar. Is it clear, everyone? Can you please reply? Okay. Okay, if anyone is not understanding, or you can please let me know. So when you are doing multiple transactions at the same time, the data should be correctly maintained. And isolation is also similar to the consistency here. This is also similar, like when you are doing multiple transaction, the data, other data should not be affected by your current transaction. It should have independently starting a new transaction. Okay, so what do you mean by isolation? Means it is also one of the ACID properties where no data should affect other one. Okay, once you started any transaction, it has to get completed and then only it has to start the new transactions. Okay, so that is what do you mean by isolation also. So something like A is there, you are transferring amount to B like 80. So now what will happen, it has to show here 80 and then only it has to transfer the amount to the C. And for B, it should be like when you're transferring again for the second time, multiple times you're transferring for the same account also, it has to be updated with properly. The data to be isolated. Whenever you are doing multiple transactions to the same account or different account, it has to be done individually, separately. Each and every transaction should be independent. It should be independent transaction. That is what do you mean by isolation. Isolation and the consistency will be little similar. So next last property of the acid is what? Durability. So what do you mean by durability? Means the data transaction after successful execution, it should be saved permanently. Even though suddenly the system fails or crashes or network error, whatever it is there, the data should be saved permanently. Now, what I have inserted, deleted, updated, and suddenly the system, like a power off or network issue, it got closed, then whatever I have done till that, if it is not saved and it is not saved and transactions are not done, means time waste, right? Again I have to do everything from beginning. It should not be like that. Whatever data you are doing, you are typing, it should be saved automatically. So how it is done in rdbms? By using the command called what? Commit. What is that? Commit. This commit can save your transactions. There is a option called set auto commit in rdbm in oracle database. When you say set auto commit on, what will happen? Suddenly if system fails or crashes also, your data till that point is saved automatically. If it is not there, then you lose all the data, all the transactions, again you have to do. So that problem is not there with the RDBMS. There is a durability, means the successful transactions are saved permanently by using what command? Commit command. By using what? Commit command. These are the four properties that RDBMS is following and DBMS is not following. Atomicity, consistency, isolated, and what? Durability. Clear everyone? Atomicity means if you start a transaction, you have to complete it, otherwise don't start it. Consistency means how many ever transactions you are making, the data should be consistently maintained correctly. Isolated means what? Even though you are doing multiple transactions at the same time, also each and every transaction should be independent. It should not be dependent on the other transaction. It has to be done independently. And last one, durability. On successful transactions, the data should be saved permanently. Even though the system fails or crashes or network error happens, also, whatever you are doing, that has to be saved permanently. That is done using the commit command of SQL. Okay, clear? Is it clear, everyone? All of you, is it clear about the acid properties? Veera, what is your question?
Once I read the acid properties, I will let you know tomorrow.
Okay, sure, sure, no problem.
Yeah,
You can just go through the notes or the acid properties. This is just a concept I am telling you. This concept
yeah,
is
yeah,
implemented in the real time tables when we are doing through queries and all. Just understand the concept, because they may ask you what are acid properties. That's why I told real time examples also, like where
yeah.
nowadays we are using all Google Pay, all these things. So that's why I told with real time example also. Once you go through that, tomorrow once again I will refresh about the acid properties, so that you can, I think you will understand.
Yeah, okay. Once DBMS and RDBMS I can
Mm.
refer. After that, I will ask you some
Sure,
queries.
sure, no problem. After your session also they will post you the recordings.
Yeah,
Recording
yeah,
also we will send. Once you can go through the recording slowly, or you can put like 1.25 speed and all, then you can listen once again to the recording, and then you can let me know if you have any doubts in the tomorrow's session. Okay.
okay.
Okay. So, any more questions, online students? Because we discussed demo one session, no? I don't want to give you too much information. It will be difficult to understand. So, today we discussed about like what is database and how many different types of softwares we use for database and how we are storing it. I just did not show you the software installation also. Tomorrow's session we will see. We will see about normalization and we will see the database installation also in the next session. Okay, so we use database to basically store huge amount of data. That is the main important. Data means any information. We will store in terms of what? Tables. Like if you consider employee will have what? Serial number, name, address, mobile number, all this information. Nowadays, if you want to store any real-time application, you consider Amazon, Flipkart, or anything you store, Netflix or aha, or so many sites are there, right, to watch movies. And also aha, you need subscription. Disney Hotstar, you need subscription. So when you subscribe, it will store your information, right? All these information where they are storing, not like 10, 20 people, no. If you see, Netflix is used throughout the world. So how much of database they require? It is not easy to store in a book or a file. They need something which maintains all your relation between the tables. One table you will show personal information, one table will show your subscription information, like that. They will establish the relation between multiple tables. So if you are having relationship between multiple tables, it is RDBMS. It is a software. DBMS cannot do all these things. So that's why we are moving to RDBMS. Clear? When there is less amount of information, you can store in Excel file or XML file or anything. But huge data is there means you have to do with what? RDBMS only. Okay, clear everyone? Okay, and also we have seen the differences between DBMS and RDBMS also. DBMS follows this hierarchy structure. RDBMS will use the table structure, and we have seen the differences and acid properties. Clear? Okay. So last 5 minutes, if anyone is having any doubts, you can wait and ask me. Others can leave the session. If anyone is missing in the beginning or something, I can explain again. Tomorrow, everyone join by 12:15. I will start normalization, and I will also show you how to install the database. Okay. I will just note down your attendance also, those who are attending from the previous batches. Okay. So, Veera, you are attending for the demo session only, no? Okay, fine. You can message to the number that you are at. Those who are attending for the newly, first time they are attending, I will share the mobile number in the chat box. You can just message to that number that you have attended demo one session, so that they will send you the recording. Okay, I will just share it. Just online students and offline students, both of you can see here. I will share the mobile number. 8978345335. Okay, you can send a message to this number that you have attended SQL demo one session, so they will send you the recording to you, today's recording, so that you can just go through it once again. Okay, and others. Bhargav, you are from. See, every day we will make sure attendance will come, and you are from Python 51 batch, right? And can you share your ID number if possible? And Vikas, you have joined from okay Java 14 batch, right? Morning you have attended, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And K Mahesh. Okay, you're from Python batch 51, I think so. And Suresh Kumar left. Okay, fine.
Ma'am, ఒక doubt.
Okay, one second. Sai Ganesh, you are also from Python 51 batch?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mahesh and Sai Ganesh, you both are from Python 51 batch, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Both are.
Okay, okay. Yes, Vikas, you are asking something?
మ్యామ్ యాసిడ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ డిస్కస్ చేశారు కదా! అవి ఓన్లీ
Yes.
స్పెసిఫైడ్ టు ట్రాన్సాక్షన్సేనా? లేదంటే వేరే యాస్పెక్ట్స్ కూడా ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా?
అంటే మోస్ట్లీ టు ద ట్రాన్సాక్షన్స్ అండి. మనం డేటాబేస్లో టేబుల్స్లో డేటా స్టోర్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనం ఈ యాసిడ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తామన్నమాట. అంటే రియల్ టైమ్ అప్లికేషన్ చేసేటప్పుడు కొంచెం డేటాని స్టోర్ రిట్రీవల్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఇట్లా రిడెండెన్సీ లేకుండా ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ చేసేటప్పుడు అట్లాంటి వాటికి మనం కాన్సెప్ట్ వైజ్ ఏంటంటే ఇది ఇంప్లిమెంట్ అయ్యేలాగా చూస్తాం అనమాట.
ఓకే. ఓకే. గాట్ ఇట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
మోస్ట్లీ టు ద ట్రాన్సాక్షన్సే ఉంటుంది.
ఓకే.
ఓకే.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఓకే. ఓకే. ఎనీ మోర్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అండి? Okay, then we will continue tomorrow at 12:15.